Cool. Hello and welcome to the Neurodivergent Normal. Episode number 3, we made it.
Yeah, we did. We are live. Brilliant. Hello.
So I've been away in Melbourne for a bit and didn't think that we do podcasts on Tuesdays, so we had to move it to tonight. But that is cool. And we did have to rearrange some guests, but we've got a very cool one that we were planning to have anyway. And they were gracious enough to come on at short notice, so we're very happy with that.
Yep, definitely.
How was your weekend, week?
Yeah, my week has been pretty good. I've been doing all the usual. Social media has been trolling me a bit because I've been scrolling through my feed and I've been seeing a lot of articles that say, autism and ADHD diagnoses explode as the NDIS gives out caviar and jacuzzis. So I haven't actually read any of those articles. I don't know if they're just rage bait. I mean, whether they're they might be sort of puerile culture war stuff.
Algorithms.
Yeah, that sort of thing. But I mean, personally, I haven't gotten anything from the NDIS since my diagnosis, although I'm happy for the people it has helped. What I have gotten since realizing I'm autistic is the courage or the I guess the inner strength to stop people pleasing and to tell jerks to go away when necessary. So
cool.
There are some things money can't buy, I guess.
Yeah.
How's your week been? Sorry.
Just on the algorithm thing, showing off. There's universes. Sorry, I'm just looking it up. There's a guy called Ryan George, who I'm sure a lot of people have heard of. He's got 1.84 million followers on YouTube, but he's got this really cool video that I highly recommend people watch, called "Showing Off Our Cool Stuff to Other Dimensions."
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, parallel dimensions, advertising to each other the cool stuff they've got. And there's one guy talking about wasps, and then there's another guy talking about algorithms and echo chambers, and it's very, very, very cool.
Oh,
and
interesting.
They're like, we'll show you how it works. Here's some good news about the world. And, oh, that's really nice, puppies. And here's some bad news. You're like, oh my god, and freaks out.
Yeah.
Like, right. So you want to see more of that content? And he's going, well, no, you reacted to that one, so we're going to show you more of that. Anyway, it's very smart and very funny. Everyone should go and watch it.
Yeah, I'll check that out because I like things that make me smarter. I mean, that's why I like doing this podcast where we're interviewing people, because then I become more knowledgeable.
Yeah. Well, no, honestly, I'm pretty burnt out. I peopled a lot from Saturday. Saturday, I flew into Melbourne, went straight to a DIY punk gig, which was very, very fun.
Yeah.
Then was at a friend's house for a few days. Went to a winery tour. Was supposed to go to comedy on the last night, but I think we were all just a bit peopled out. Flew in this afternoon. Missed my TMS appointment, unfortunately, because the flight was delayed, and then jumped straight in here. So, but that's cool. I enjoy doing this, so we're doing it. I just maybe a little less chatty. This week compared to normal.
Fair enough. It sounds like a good trip though, and worth it.
So worth it.
Yeah, Melbourne's always great. I mean, that's where I'm from originally.
Oh, really? Did I know that?
I'm from Frankston, which is Is it a suburb? Is it a part of Melbourne, or is it a city in itself? I'm not sure. I mean,
I consider it part of Melbourne. When I lived there, I would be there a little bit. Yeah, and go walk on the sea. Walk on the beach.
You're like Jesus.
But anyway, so
might as well be walking on the sea. Sorry.
No, yeah. I got the beard, so. Anyway, so today's topic is officially neurodivergence in parenting.
Yeah.
Angie, Christie, our guest, is a neurodivergent parent to neurodivergent children. Try saying that 3 times fast. But also a musician friend. We are both obviously very connected to the music world, so we are going to play some of their music first before we get started, and then we will bring Angie in.
Cool.
All right, let's see if I can do this properly this time. Sure.
I got a God-shaped hole in my heart and my soul. I'll take anything to fill up the void. I'm a poser, I'm a fake. My life's one big mistake, and I'll never be one of the boys. You think I'm out of my mind because I'm out of this world? Baby, I'll never fit in. So I'll just have another line while I bide my time, waiting for the drugs to kick in. I'll wear a crown of flowers and a crown of thorns. I am the target for all your scorn. But this clean living is killing me. I need another dose of dead ecstasy. Death and destruction is all I see. 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 I'm looking down. I'm looking out. I'm looking up, away from me. I'm coming down and I'm coming clean. I never said a word that I didn't mean. I'm running out of time and out of luck. Ignore the voice. You'll never be enough. Feel the pulse that's running through your head, begging for the monster to be fed. But I'm not that person any longer. I'm smarter, I'm stronger. Weathered every storm and every flood. Crawled my way through the dirt and the mud. I won't stop till I've reached the top. I'm rising up like Lazarus. Death and destruction is all I see. 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 I'm looking down. I'm looking out. I'm looking up, away from me. I got a God-shaped hole, no heart, no soul. I need music just to drown out the noise. I'm a heartless disaster, a medicated martyr, and nobody meant for the void. Sunshine and rainbows are all I see. 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 I'm looking down. I'm looking out. I'm looking up, away from me. I'm looking out. I'm looking up, away from me.
Well, that was bloody awesome.
Yeah, that was Looking Down by Northern Lights.
Yeah.
It switches Northern Lights. Oh, I need to come back. I need
Yeah.
Just turning my... I thought I had turned my camera back on, but apparently not.
Yeah, let's. I'm going to compliment Angie to their face about this. 1 second. Hello.
Hey, Angie.
Hello.
How's it
How you
going?
doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
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 That was bloody excellent. I haven't heard that song. I know the band, known the band for years, but that was really, really good. I was actually very impressed. Last time I saw you guys was at Greaser, and I was pretty blown away. Pretty blown away. There's really good energy there at the moment. It's cool.
Yeah.
We're liking playing there.
Good venue.
It's a good venue.
Yeah, I mean, Kenny and Hall, we've played there with you recently, so... Yeah. You are, I think we've briefly mentioned in the intro, you're a neurodivergent parent, a mother of neurodivergent kids, a musician, a makeup artist, a homeschool educator. You're probably, I guess, one of the most versatile people I know. So that goes into a two-part question, actually. The first part of the question is, what flavor of neurodivergent, flavor or flavors of neurodivergent are you?
So I have autism and ADHD. So I think the ADHD helps with the energy part of it
Yeah.
when it comes in terms of being a musician and I guess doing all the other stuff I do as well. Yeah.
And the second part of my question is, out of all of those different pursuits I mentioned, which one makes you most keenly feel the presence of your neurodivergent mind? I mean, which one makes you go, like, do you feel it affects most keenly?
Oh, effects.
Yeah, if it's possible to pick one.
Ooh, I guess maybe being a musician. Growing up, I've had experiences where I've been up and performing in front of people since I was quite young. It's a little bit different to get up there as an adult when I gave it a second run a bit later in life.
Yeah.
I didn't join a band until I turned 40.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that was quite strange going into that world and learning how to navigate all of that. I do still find I get affected on occasion when I'm out and I'm performing in terms of anxiety,
Yeah.
which is a pretty big one. Yeah.
Were you diagnosed before joining a band at age 40, or was it after?
So mine is a self-diagnosis, but
Yeah.
extremely reliable.
Yeah.
I have birthed 4 sons, and
Yeah.
I have an extra child as well, which is I class as my son, so 5. And my sons have been diagnosed, and we've been through the ringer, so to speak, over the years in terms of being in and out of various therapists and doctors' places and stuff. I guess it became pretty obvious pretty quickly to me where the autism was coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we've said before on the podcast, but it bears repeating. We live in a country where it's very difficult and expensive to get diagnosed.
Yeah.
And I imagine being a mother, you'd put your kids first when it comes to spending money on that.
I know I've already personally spent like $30,000 in having 2 of my boys diagnosed.
Yeah. Wow.
And then I asked the question, was it worth me getting diagnosed? And they said, no.
You'll learn enough through them. Yeah.
They knew me well enough to say, no, you're definitely on the spectrum.
Yeah.
It does have a genetic component. I mean, it does tend to run in families.
And it's the kind of situation where self-diagnosis is genuinely helpful, you know? I mean, you know, and you're not just some random influencer on Instagram going, oh, I'm so ADHD, you know, like it's a bit different than that.
No, well, I was diagnosed. Because I was born in the 70s, I guess growing up through the 80s and whatnot, being in a different time, I was diagnosed when I was 7 with hyperactivity.
Oh, yeah.
And at that point, they just said, put her in everything. Put her in all the sports, put her in all the dancing and performance and stuff. So
Tire her out.
Yeah. That was the concept back then.
Yeah.
Did that help doing the dancing and performances?
Yeah, it did. It gave me confidence. It gave me, I know that feeling of confidence and a bit of self-worth that I was good at things, because there were times that socially I felt awkward, but if I was a really great runner or really great at, I was a weightlifting champion.
Yeah.
So, and the singing and whatnot. So it gave me confidence and it gave me an outlet.
Yeah, your weightlifting background is one thing that I forgot to mention in the intro, actually. So I dropped.
Oh, really?
I dropped the ball there. I think I covered quite a few other things.
Strong man and strong woman is one of my my hyper focuses that I love. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, ex Queensland weightlifting champion for multiple years, and
Wow.
I held the titles. I was 4th in Australia at one point. Yeah, I was in the Olympic development squad as well, the year 2000 Olympic development squad, but I did not make it there because I have illness that comes with my autism as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of other sort of diagnoses, like you say, that are related. Do you mind discussing those at all? Or?
Yeah, so I got diagnosed it'd be about 6 years ago now, with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. They think hypermobility type at this point.
Yeah.
I'm really hypermobile, so
Yeah.
Could you just explain that a little for any listeners who might not understand?
Ehlers-Danlos syndrome is a collagen disorder, a connective tissue disorder. So it affects all the soft tissue in your body. Yeah, so brain and, stomach, all your digestive system, it sort of gives that a real good run for its money.
Right. Okay.
It causes things like early onset osteoarthritis. Yeah, I think about 32 medical conditions under that banner.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Go on.
How did these conditions affect the weightlifting? Is that
I was extremely slim when I was a kid, and all I ever wanted was to have some muscle and some shape about me. So I took up weightlifting at about 13, and it took me a good year and a half, I think, to actually start to see some muscle and some development in that area. And then I had a really good technique, and I was quite a lightweight still. So the fact I could lift above my head more than what I weighed was considered quite a big thing.
yeah.
I didn't understand that I had Ehlers-Danlos syndrome back then. I knew I had a lot of other health complaints over the years, ever since I was little, and I just wanted to keep fit and healthy. I've always had that focus since I was quite young.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know, but it's probably caused me a bit of issues in the long run.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
So I guess to the topic at hand, let's dive in. So when did you develop an interest in homeschooling?
Homeschooling was something that was on the radar. Being a mum of neurodivergent children, I'd done a lot of research, and I knew that there was some evidence that could be the way to go if school wasn't the right way to go. And it all started with my first son, my eldest boy. He's 22 now, but it started back when he went to special school for kindy, and then he went to a split placement for prep through special school and state school. And then grade 1, they said he's all good for state school. His IQ test came in through the roof, so he was reevaluated as having, he has autism, but he has savant syndrome as well.
Yeah.
So they thought school would be awesome for him.
Okay.
And it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good run at all. They really weren't helping him at all. He was being pulled aside to do things like colouring in instead of being in the class, actually listening and taking in things. He was getting bullied. His health was suffering. He has epilepsy, so he's having more seizures in the classroom than what he ever had before at home.
Yeah.
So we did one term of grade 1, and I thought I'd just homeschool him for a while to see how we go. And we're just going on 17 years now since then.
Yeah.
And
I just continued over the years with all of them.
oh, cool. When you first started homeschooling, I mean, was there a lot to learn? Did you have a good support network? Was it difficult at first?
It was really tricky. A lot of the info I was getting was more so from America, of US-based literature, and even the teaching resources that we could get our hands on. A lot of it was US-based.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, I guess my main focus was to get him to read.
Yeah.
That was my primary focus. At that point, at 6.5, the school system still hadn't got him to that point where he was even an emergent reader.
Yeah.
So that was my first priority for that year, was just basically to get him reading, and I used whatever resources I could find, a bit of scholastic material, and then started branching out and trying to get a support system and meet people who were also homeschooling.
I think you'll get no argument from me that the public school system is not built for autistic kids or neurodivergent kids in general. Because I mean, it sounds like he wasn't getting education, which is the whole point of being there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I found it weird that it felt like he just stagnated because he'd learnt so much at home with me in the early years. And then there was just this stagnation of skills. And I thought he should be reading. He should have picked up something by now.
Yeah.
But within less than 6 months at home, he was reading.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Yeah, I looking back on my own schooling, I mean, I had a difficult time in a lot of ways. I think one of the things the teachers said to my parents when I was really young was I was really good at some things but struggled socially. Like,
Struggled socially. That was
Yeah.
on a few report cards. Yeah.
yeah. So and yeah, I mean, I even had I was bullied and didn't get a lot of support a lot of the time from teachers. I mean, even some of the teachers didn't like me. I'm not sure why. I mean, I was sucking up enough.
I got bullied too. I mostly hung out with the boys a lot. I hung out
Yeah.
with the guys. That's why weightlifting was a really great opportunity for me as well. It was mostly guys doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had like the other way. I was always friends with girls growing up.
I was just friends with the weirdest kid I could possibly find. It's like, you'll do.
Yeah, that was probably me though.
Yeah, I think we all tended to find each other back then, even without a diagnosis.
Yeah.
You mentioned having that support network for homeschooling. Did that make it easier with the rest of the boys?
Yeah, it definitely did. I felt like there was just a few things that I would have liked them to have experienced going through the school system. Some of the more pleasant things
No, yeah.
and
school
things I
camps.
enjoyed, I guess. Yeah, and things like sport day. I always got a big kick out of sport day and
Oh, yeah.
performances and stuff like that. So in the end, I just decided that I've mostly created those opportunities, not only for my own sons, but for other people as well in the homeschooling community.
Yeah.
So I've run like I think about 3 athletics carnivals now, a couple of cross country carnivals. I've run a variety talent show. I've run 2 musicals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's with other kids in the community and
Yeah,
parents
yeah.
and things.
I obviously get help from other parents where I can with things, but typically I'm of the belief that if it's not there, then you create it.
Yeah.
This will probably lead into Danny's next question, but I'm just thinking from an autistic point of view, that's a lot. That's to do, that's a lot of peopling.
Yeah.
Like, how is that an issue? Do you need to manage it
No,
carefully?
it's
or?
weird.
Yeah.
I'm better when I'm the organizer.
Okay.
I cope much better when I know exactly what's happening. When
yeah.
I'm the one in control, I think. When I attend things and I'm not, I quite often feel a lot more awkward. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find you tend to focus on energizing activities rather than ones that cause burnout?
Personally, myself.
Yeah.
Do you mean personally myself?
Yeah, personally.
Energize. I guess as a mum of a household of 7, there is a bit of burnout that goes on.
That does lead into my next question, actually, which is
Yeah.
how do you stay regulated and manage overstimulation and burnout as a neurodivergent parent and homeschool educator?
And musician and all of those other things.
I need to take, even if it's small opportunities, I need to take time for myself when I can. Whether it be throughout the day. I guess when my kids were younger, that was more once they sort of were getting off to bed, and
Yep.
then that was my opportunity. I tend to stay up quite late. I don't sleep a hell of a lot, so I tend to have a fair bit of off time, downtime at night, and then just doing things like out in my garden. That's my time. There's no one else out there. I might sing to myself and just take my time, and I love nature, so there's certain outlets like cooking. I love to cook, so I just crank my music up in the kitchen and spend an hour cooking. And so I know it seems like those things might be exhausting
Yeah.
exhausting for some people, but when I do them in my own time, in my own way, without any pressure, then that's relaxing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it kind of it lets off some steam so that when you have to do the hard stuff, you don't. It's harder to get overwhelmed.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect parent. I do get overwhelmed still. It happens. I guess it's identifying when you get to a certain point. Okay, you're best off removing yourself from a situation.
Yeah.
Take some deep breaths, calm yourself down for a moment before you enter the environment again.
And without diagnosis, how did you come to that? Because that's something that takes a lot of people a long time to realize. I still struggle with, because part of autism can also be finding it hard to understand your own feelings and what's going on with yourself, or not just others.
Yeah.
And I find it can take me a while, and often too late, to realize that I've overdone it, and I become overwhelmed. How did you get to that point?
I guess I've gotten better. So, like, I'm turned 50 next year. I've been a parent for nearly 23 years. So, over
Practice.
time, yeah, they're the tools that I've sort of learnt over the time. Yeah, having time for myself, removing myself from a really high stress situation, even if it's just for a moment, for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Pretending to go to the toilet,
Um,
that kind of thing.
I
Yeah.
spent half
Yeah.
my working life in there.
oh,
When I used to work for other people in offices, that was how I got through the day.
yeah, I was going to say that sounds very familiar because learning to stay regulated and to manage burnout and meltdowns, that's something that I still need to work on. And working
I'll
for
still
other
be
people.
working on it forever. I
Yeah.
think we have to work on it forever.
I think we will. And working for other people has definitely been a big a catalyst for that, particularly like high stress jobs where it's like you know what they say, a fast paced environment. Can you thrive in a fast paced environment? And I'm like,
God, yeah, I remember that one.
I don't actually think I can. Whoops. I need a bathroom break. So yeah.
Yeah, that's why I didn't go to work in fast food when I
Yeah.
was younger. My first job was not fast food.
Yeah.
But my first job was, but it failed very miserably. But yeah, my other favorite was we need a go-getter. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
cool. And then being autistic, my first question was, cool. Go where? Get what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Exactly. Go to work, get money, one would presume. Oh, yeah.
That's
Go
excellent.
getter.
Yeah.
I've been called a go-getter when I was
Yeah.
younger. You're a real go-getter. It's like, because I'm high energy.
Yeah.
More energy.
So, yeah.
Sorry, you good, Danny?
Oh, that's all right. So, what tips do you have for neurodivergent parents, particularly those who are also homeschooling? And, I mean, there's a fair bit to get into here, I guess. You could talk about techniques for teaching and studying, behavioural management. I mean, how it all differs from a regular classroom.
I thought about this ahead of time. So I thought this is a general question I'm going to be asked.
Yeah.
And
Just a quick aside, if anyone out there is ever thinking about coming on the podcast, because we are a neurodivergent podcast, you will get all the questions well in advance.
yeah, so I'm sorry. I got lost for a second.
Sorry,
That will
my
happen.
fault.
No, that's okay. My brain was going right there and then I wanted to listen to you. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I guess one of my biggest tips as a parent, neurodivergent parent, is not to compare yourself to other parents. Is that your experience is, or should most likely will be fairly unique to you,
Yeah.
and your children will be even more unique. So your situation is not necessarily the norm, and trying to compare yourself to neurotypical families, I think we tend to do that a little, but just to remind ourselves that we're doing things in a different way because we're different people and our brains work differently. And so therefore not to compare ourselves to other people who may be just doing things, you know, the neurotypical way.
The self-kindness.
Yeah. And understanding that, like, to other people, your house might look a little hectic,
Yeah.
for example, but to you, that's what works. Everyone sort of bounces off each other in our home.
Yeah.
We've got a few high energy people here.
Yeah.
Danny knows one of my sons, Fraser, who's in our band as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's a chip off the old block, that one.
Yeah. How? What about tips for I guess managing different personality types and different kinds of learners?
That's been a bit trickier for me as my boys got older and they're sort of becoming, late teenagers and going into early adulthood. It's been a bit tricky for me, I guess, more so between them.
Yeah.
Is because they are quite different. And so it's me trying to remind them that, remember, such and such is a little bit more quiet than you, so that's why they were upset by what you just did. Or such and such is a lot more out there than you and didn't realize what he said came out the wrong way. He didn't mean it like that.
Yeah.
So I guess as they've gotten older, I tend to be a little bit of the mediator. Yeah, which I mean that's a normal parent role anyway.
Yeah.
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 And what about behavioral management? I mean, that's going to be an interesting dynamic when they're your students and your children.
Yeah, it is. I haven't had too many issues with that, to be honest. I've had a no smacking rule in my family ever since they were little. I grew up being smacked. I grew up being hurt quite a bit, especially when my own emotions were all out of whack. It's not, it definitely wasn't the right recipe to be going in hard as a parent. So I tend to more so tell over the years, I've told my children the same thing I do. It's time for time out.
Yeah.
So when there's a behavioural issue, it's more like remove yourself from a space, have a think about what you just did, take some deep breathing, maybe listen to a little bit of music or something like that. Yeah.
How do you manage? Because with neurodivergent kids, there's obviously there's a ratio between that was just inappropriate behavior and they're behaving a particular way because they're neurodivergent or they're overwhelmed or something like that. We've spoken a bit before on the podcast about understanding why that behavior is being displayed, but not accepting unacceptable behavior.
Yeah.
How do you? That's a tricky mix to get right. How do you do that?
I'll give you an example. Is one of my children, not that long ago, last year, we went out to a homeschool excursion and something erupted towards the end, and one of my kids was on top of another child and threatening that they were going to cause them some great harm. At the time, I could see that child was extremely heightened, and that if I stood there right then and reprimanded them at that point in time, we weren't going to get any successes at all. It was just going to make the situation worse. So in that instance, I did try to get him to apologize, but that was not going to happen. So I realized that we needed to probably leave at this point. I then say to the other parent, I'm terribly sorry for what's just happened with my child. We're going to go and discuss this later. The other parent had a go at me at that point and said, that's not good enough. Your child needs to acknowledge what they've done to my child immediately and apologize. And I further explained that we will discuss it at home and I'm terribly sorry. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yep.
And then we went home and we discussed it well and truly, and we discussed it again and again and again. And then reminders when we go out to something else about, we keep our hands to ourselves. It's not nice to hurt people. And so how I deal with behaviors probably looks different to someone in the moment. But then there's extra work that goes on behind the scenes later.
When learning how to manage these behaviors and how to, take time out with neurodivergent kids, was it something that you had to learn by trial and error? Did you have resources that helped you along the way?
I think what has probably helped me, which I haven't touched on yet, but I grew up with a father who was very different to a lot of the other fathers. It was so much fun in my eyes, but he was extremely different. So I think I learned a lot from being his daughter over the years, because it's become pretty clear that the autism came through him.
Oh yeah.
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 I was told growing up that he had some kind of brain damage,
Oh, okay, right.
but he seemed pretty intelligent and capable to me. So I always thought that that was a little off and that there was something else at play.
Yeah.
I had there's one of my
Yeah.
mother's my mother's partner, one of his brothers. When I was growing up, they were a bush family, you know, so there wasn't a whole lot of education around autism and like that. So they were just like, oh, it was a similar description they would use for him. Oh, he's, you know, a bit of brain damage or something, but you know, in hindsight, years later, he obviously was autistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that's just a time thing.
I've learned a lot from
looked at it
that.
differently. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, looking back on my own
I had to
school...
go.
Sorry, you go.
Oh, you're right. Go for it. No, go for
no,
it.
I had a separate anecdote, but I can let you finish first.
No, it's okay. I've lost it.
Looking back on my own schooling, back in the the Roald Dahl years where they used canes and things. I mean, I'm not that old. I'm exaggerating slightly, but looking back on my own schooling system, and particularly how the teachers in my life used behavior management. I mean, I got told you should have a lot. Like you should be able to do this. You just need to listen. You need to pay more attention. This is on you. Was that something? I don't know what it's like these days, but is that something you noticed is still present in the schooling system? And did that give you sort of an example to be a counterpoint to and to set yourself apart from?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. It's hard to say. It was very limited opportunity that my eldest had with the education system.
Yeah.
And it was a fair chunk of that was through the special school system, which was much better in just the way that they communicated things and their approach in general.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to say. I definitely wasn't trying to model school. I've never tried to model school.
Yeah.
I take on, in the first couple of years, I probably was a little bit more running alongside of the school system and the curriculum. But these days we do something more called unschooling. So we follow the child's interest, and I try to build in the English and the maths and the science and the history and all the other components into those interest areas. So I'm definitely not trying to model school.
I've spent a lot of time over the years on various podcasts quoting this, but I'll say it again, is that quote that's always incorrectly attributed to Einstein, which is like, if you judge an elephant by its ability to climb a tree, it'll always be a failure. That's what I think the main problem is with the schooling system in general, let alone with neurodivergent kids, who I think would especially benefit from the kind of approach you're talking about. It's like, how about we identify what they're good at and what they're interested in, and we nurture that, rather than give them a set of yardsticks in the same, set of subjects for all of them, and tell them they're a failure if they don't, if they don't do well.
Yeah, and I like waiting to, like, when a child's ready for something as well. If I can, I start the process of them learning, for example, how to read, and then I think, no, they're not quite mentally ready yet. We'll hold off a little bit longer, rather than just pushing with it right then and there, because
Yeah.
you're a set age. You should be reading right now. At 4.5, you'd be at prep. You'd be learning to read right now. I tend to wait until they're more mentally ready. But then in saying that, it does not take long at all to go from woe to go. The information just comes on board much quicker when they're mentally ready and physically ready to sit as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, during my own schooling years, there are a lot of, you should be this good at maths by this point. But your approach sounds particularly effective because, I mean, neurodivergent people, we love our special interests and we love following our strong interests. So any approach to learning that focuses on those strong interests sounds effective.
Yeah, I guess also I had a lot of time off school when I was in primary school, and I went to 6 different primary schools. We moved a lot, and I had a lot of time off being sick as well. So I got sent home work quite often to do at home, and I just speed through it super quick. I was pretty bright. I'd speed through it super quick, and then I'd get back to school and think, oh, we're going to sit here and listen to all this boring, mindless dribble. Yeah, just going over and over, because sometimes they do go over something too much as well. And I think there might be, if I'm thinking about my children, there's times where they're like, okay, I got it. We don't need to do that anymore. We can move on now.
Yeah.
Boredom sets in otherwise.
I would often get bored, and but I confused the teachers, because I could have a class, like, say, I remember I had social studies. Some of it I found really, really interesting, like historical stuff. But I just couldn't bring myself to pay any attention or put in any work into anything that I just was outside my interests. And but then, we'd come along to like a particular assignment for the month. I'd be like, oh, that's awesome, I want to read about that, and then I'd go get an A plus. In that same subject that I failed the whole rest of and they would just be like, what's going on here? And I'd be like, well, you're not teaching me right. You what you're seeing there is how well I could be doing in your class.
If I was interested in what you were teaching me.
Yeah. Or if you're just teaching me the right way,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as we mentioned in the intro, you also have a number of other pursuits, such as musician and makeup artist. I mean, like, talking about being a musician, I mean, our last couple of episodes have both featured musicians, and we've talked about how being neurodivergent affects things like performing and songwriting and the various other aspects of it. And of course, I'm very familiar with your band, Northern Lights. So, I mean, we spoke about it a little bit, but how do you find, like, managing anxiety on stage and, I mean, being neurodivergent, do you lean into it with the performance?
Sure, if I really lean into it with the performance. I have like little rituals that I do. So I'll have a ritual where it's like, oh, it's 15 minutes till I've got to be on stage, and I'll take myself off to the bathroom, and I'll spend a fair chunk of that 10-15 minutes beforehand in the bathroom. The rest of the band, they're all setting up and doing their thing, probably going, where is she? But I go in there for some breathing and some self-talk, I guess, and I warm up my voice so I feel a bit more confident that I'm ready to go when I get out there, and touch up a bit of the makeup and a bit of the lipstick so I feel I'm looking my best, which gives me a bit more confidence again. And most places, if I've played there before, I feel pretty comfy. We've played at Greaser a number of times now. I feel really comfy there. Have we lost something?
Have we?
No.
Can
good.
hear you again now.
I said shout out to Greaser, amazing venue.
I do still suffer from anxiety sometimes. Our last show, I don't know whether I should say where it is, but our last show, I had a bit of a panic attack.
Right. How would you, I guess, how would you deal with that in the moment?
I got through the set. I just told myself to keep going. And can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, okay, everything went quiet. So I got through the set, and then right at the end, people come up and they go, yay, you guys are great. And I was like, no, we weren't. I couldn't hear myself. And I did a bit of a cranky, and then I thought, I need to go and remove myself for a bit. So I went off outside and took a breather and whatnot, and then came back in and was like, okay, I'm calming down now. But the audio threw me off. I couldn't hear my voice singing at all. So that was very bizarre. And I held it together. I'm glad I did. I haven't stormed it off stage yet. But I mean, it still happens. Yeah.
The storming off stage or the panic attacks?
I haven't stormed off stage yet, but having a bit of anxiety here and there does happen. But I don't know. Sometimes it's a bit of a challenge.
What about creatively, though? Do you find it makes you think in a way that you think it's probably unique to you for that reason when you're contributing to the music?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
When it comes to recording of the music, it it can take me days to finally get in there. I have to
Yeah.
just be in the right headspace to get in there. Everything's set up, everyone else has done their parts, and I'm still waiting to feel like I'm in the right headspace. But then once I am, I'm like, okay, I've got it. In terms of helping write the lyrics, I guess I think when I'm helping to write the lyrics that I'm writing it from a perspective of somebody who knows what it's like to feel anxious, um, who knows what it's like to feel, I guess, like a bit off kilter,
Yeah.
a bit out of the ordinary, a bit strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've had three different musicians we've asked sort of questions around that. I think we've gotten three very different answers, so
Yeah.
it's interesting. I don't know why. I guess I expected a theme, but that's just because of the way that I know it definitely heavily affects my approach to making music. But yeah, everyone's different, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I feel the whole pre-show rituals thing. I mean, I definitely have those as well. Things I do to calm down before going on stage or to stay regulated. Going to the bathroom like 15 minutes before the performance, I can relate to that, except for me, I'll need to go 15 seconds beforehand. It just hit me really strongly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah.
So,
And I mean, you have a number of other creative passions as well. And you mentioned you
Oh.
started performing as a kid.
yeah.
Is that where it all began? Like in childhood, just doing both performances and doing sports? Is that where your love of it all came from?
Yeah, I'm not the type on the spectrum to be particularly shy majority of the time, unless I'm really
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I was the look at me, look at me, look at me, listen to me sing, watch this
Yeah.
whole dance routine I've just put together, and then me wanting to just even show people at the shopping centre, look what I can do, and let me sing you a song, and I was just very out there,
Yeah.
very out there kind of child.
Yeah. So you were doing drama in school and like
Yeah.
performing in the all the plays they had and stuff.
Yeah, I did little theatre group growing up, and I sang in the choir at church, and my dad
Yeah.
used to take me along to open mics when I was younger.
Oh, cool.
And then when we got to the Gold Coast, my dad had a gig where he was doing what's it called? Basically, he was an Elvis impersonator at the
Oh, right.
casino.
Oh, cool.
So I learned a fair bit of the singing from my dad. He's quite a good singer, so I learned that from him growing up. I don't know. It was something I was good at, so I felt a bit more confident having something, a bit of an edge, if that makes sense.
That would be quite the thing to talk about at school, actually. Like, oh, what do your parents do? Oh, well, my dad's an Elvis impersonator. I mean, I doubt many of
Yeah.
the kids in your class would have had the same experience.
No, no. And then he roped me into this. My very first proper big gig in front of like at least 1,000 or more people was at
Yeah.
the age of 9. Because
Wow.
he roped me into it. We went to an open mic at the Tugun Hotel, and the people there loved me and said, "Could you come back and sing some Christmas carols for us with the band next week?"
Oh,
And
yeah.
I thought it was just going to be the same little spot, like the little open mic part of the hotel. But then when we got there the following week, it was out on the green, out the back, on a big stage with lots of people.
Cool.
Yeah, that was the most nervous I've ever been. I think if I could get through that, that was terrible. When the music started, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, I had no idea what the first verse was.
All
I
right.
just totally forgot the first verse. It wasn't until we got to the second one I was like, oh, now I know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, when you're put on the spot like that, I guess it's just easy to completely blank on what the lyrics are, and yeah, like your mind just goes blank. I mean, if somebody asked me on the spot to sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, I don't know that I would be able to.
I had a whole week to prepare. I'd been practicing every single day for a whole week. I had a list of songs I had to learn, and I was like, I know these songs. Until I got up there and realised that, anxiety can mean that you forget what the lyrics are.
Yeah.
I've had similar experiences even as an adult musician. You know, there was one gig I really wish I'd managed to pull together the anxiety enough to do, and it was like a Cure tribute night, but it was with decent musicians. Like I was on a bill with like Steve Kilbey from The Church.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And I was just so pumped about being on the same stage as that man. And but yeah, just the day crept up, and I just freaked out. I just couldn't do it, and I felt so bad because it was my friend Paul, who owned the Globe, was organising it, and I did definitely let some people down. But I don't know, you can't do what you can't do. You know, sometimes you gotta.
Yeah, I've had to pull out of at least a couple of interviews, I guess, in the last couple of years when I've just gotten too anxious about it all, and up until the day I'm like, no, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Mind you, with my TMS therapy, which I'm constantly harping on about, I don't seem to have anxiety anymore, so that's good. Hopefully I won't have to deal with that.
Awesome.
Yeah, it sounds like definitely a benefit, and I'm looking forward to hearing more about that.
Yeah, we'll definitely do some episodes on it.
Yeah, so Angie, with these, I guess your these creative pursuits in childhood and all this performance, was it in retrospect a chance to channel what at the time was undiagnosed ADHD? I mean, obviously there was more to it than that. I'm sure you were motivated by the love of performing as well. But looking back, do you go, okay, the ADHD definitely played a part in wanting to do all this stuff?
Yeah, it was a chance for me I was able to move and I wasn't going to get told off for it.
Yeah. Could be as restless as you liked.
Yeah, because I'm a fidget, and just going back to what we were saying about at school, even though I did fairly well with the grades, I was that child that was always on the report card, or when the parent-teacher interviews where she talks too much. She won't stop.
Yeah.
Too talkative. Yeah, I never knew when to stop. So
If they could just focus.
yeah,
Those are some common report cards. Yeah.
No, I like to go off on a tangent quite a lot.
It's good. So the band you're in at the moment is Northern Lights, and you've been around for a while. I've seen you play on multiple occasions. Can you give us a bit about the history of Northern Lights, how long you've been playing together, and just the band itself?
Well, about 8.5 years ago now, probably actually nearly 9 years ago now, I started going to one of our local open mics and meeting a lot more local musicians and whatnot, because singing in a band was always a bit of a dream goal for me, I guess, over the years. I did put a lot of those personal pursuits on hold for quite some time over the years while I've been homeschooling and raising a lot of small children.
Yeah.
But yeah, coming close to 40, I decided that no, I really needed to do it and get myself out there more and not just be the local karaoke queen.
Yeah. Although it is a good training ground, being the local karaoke queen.
Do they have Rockyoke out your way? Have you heard of that? Where it's like karaoke but with a real live band?
Yeah, I'm not sure I've seen it around here.
Oh, okay. That used to be great. I missed that.
I'm at the back of Ipswich near the airbase.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So going along to open mics, and then I started helping a friend run the open mic. So that sort of really put me in the deep end then. Did a collective show at one of the local pubs and felt pretty confident with that. And I was like, okay, I just need to find a band now.
Yeah.
I already had a bunch of songs I'd written, but I wasn't sure how to turn those into a song at all.
Yeah.
It was just the actual words. And I could hear the song, but I don't play a guitar or whatever. So, and then I started dating Dustin, who's the lead singer and guitarist of Northern Lights. And I went along to a couple of his gigs, Northern Lights gigs. And this one particular night, the bass player couldn't come. And it was just going to be himself and the drummer. And I had my tambourine and I knew the songs. So he said, come and join us. So okay, that'll be fun. And that went down really well. And then he said, okay, you want to be in the band?
Yeah.
I went, okay, sure. So that's just going on about 8 years ago now that I've been in the band. Yeah.
Yeah. So, sorry.
Yeah. And I was going to say, over the last 8 years, I've had 3 of my sons play in the band with us now. Yeah, which has been really nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, part of the reason I asked is we're coming to the end of the show now, and this is the time when you can plug.
Ha ha ha.
Plug where people can find you and what Northern Lights is doing at the moment.
I have my trusty list.
Okay, cool. Excellent.
I can tell you actually that our next one is next weekend. Not this weekend, next weekend, but that's in an invite only, sadly.
Right. Exclusive.
Yeah, we're going camping for the weekend and a whole bunch of us musos are going to play a big show together.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So, but anyway, on May the 15th, we play at Banshees again.
Cool.
With Fun with Explosives and System Trashed. And on June the 5th, we're at PFR Lounge with Disgruntled Taxpayers. And then we're playing Hotel Metropole here in Ipswich in July. And then Indooroopilly in August.
Cool.
So,
Indooroopilly will be
booked
cool.
in.
Yeah.
Are you streaming everywhere? All the usual places?
Sorry, streaming?
Yeah. Music. Where can people listen to the music?
Oh yes. Yeah. Dustin's so good at this side of things. It's not really my forte. Yeah, we're on all the usual platforms, and on Triple J Unearthed, Spotify, etc. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'll definitely be going and listening to Looking Down again.
Yeah. Instagram. On Instagram. I always think of Instagram first because basically I think of myself as a glorified social media influencer who occasionally does other stuff. So when people ask where can I find you, I just drop my Instagram and then I forget to mention anything else.
Before we do finish up though, there was one question we skipped over that I really wanted to get to. Just to finish up is I guess what would you have to say to the powers that be in charge of public schooling about what needs to change to better support neurodivergent learning for kids?
I think ultimately what would be beneficial is to have actually learning spaces, learning zones where children can freely roam between those learning areas and kind of dictate if they want to spend 2-3 hours in that zone, that's okay.
Great idea. Free range learning.
Yeah, being more flexible in their approach, and even with the age situation, maybe even opening it up more to a couple of years, not just within a 12-month period in terms of grades and stuff like that. So making it a little bit more open, but also allowing then the teachers to be in those zones to help and be a bit more hands-on for those who need it or want it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, I think I've heard of similar things with things like Montessori schooling, which I don't know too much about, but there are a few models out there that are into doing things differently.
Yeah, my eldest went to a Montessori kindergarten before special school,
Cool.
I already had that in my mind that I love that kind of model.
And what is the model?
With Montessori, it's more hands-on learning.
Yeah. Okay.
so it's more utilizing things as opposed to just sitting and listening.
Yeah, the best grades I ever got in my life was in year 7. Um, my mum moved us to an area where they had a school. I don't know, I don't know what you would call the model that they had, but there was no testing and no grading. They just taught, and well, yeah, I didn't get good grades because they didn't grade, but I learnt the most that I ever have there. It was just a shame they didn't have a high school to follow that up, unfortunately. But yeah,
Yeah.
I was really big on that, and the whole family was really impressed with how much mine and my brother's grades both improved, just with that much more flexible, less judgmental structure, and less cookie cutter for every kid. You know?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think they just need to be a little bit more open and flexible in their approach.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're at the end. Dave,
Yeah.
did you have any more questions?
No, that's it from me. Thank you, Angie. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah. Angie, I will just ask you to stay on for a little bit after I stop all of this.
Okay.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
having me, guys.
Thanks. And we will be back in a fortnight's time. I believe we're speaking to Al from Banshees Bar and Art Space, which will be very, very fun. We
Yeah.
we love Al.
Yeah.
She's a top
So
chick.
a neurodivergent venue, like live music and arts venue owner, which, yeah, that's going to be a really fun conversation. Can't wait.
Yeah. Cool. Looking forward to that.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye for
Thank
now.
you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.